That's better. Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Right, still at the rewire. So me and Jack have got all the first fix done now. We have also put some bonding in. We're not down to do bonding or plastering or whatever, but I just thought for the sake of it, we haven't caused that much damage anyway, and for the sake of it, we thought we'll just chuck some bonding in, so it means that me and Jack can crack on with some second fix, and we haven't got to wait for the plasterer. It can move over to the decorator and let him do his thing. So don't get me wrong, I've not gone crazy with it. It is literally just, we've just chucked it in like this, which is, it's a bit weird because the new stuff's grey, but it is what it is. So that's all we're doing really, just so we can get all our accessories on and finish the job. So for us today, me and Jack are going to be cracking on with second fix, and then I think what I'm going to be doing as well is perhaps trying to sort out the consumer units that are going to go in there while Jack gets on with a load of second fix. Yeah, so that is us. That is what it is. But yeah, so if you like the channel and you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit the link in the bottom. I massively appreciate it. That is not a duck hiding in the house, it is my phone. Yeah, massively appreciate it. And if you like the channel and like what you see today, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, leave your comments, I'll try and get back to most of them. Yeah, and I shall catch up with you in a minute. Right, first fix. I don't know anything else, I've got a very elaborate list of materials that I need. Okay, now with having the van the way it is now, I'll tell you what, we can go outside and have a look at it. Having the van the way it is allows me to keep a lot more stock, keep more organised. So let's go out to the van and we'll go through that. Right, so we're in the van now, and I will be doing a full video and stuff on this anyway at some point. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll understand why I've been so stressed and I've not had a chance to do it. But yeah, that's another thing. So anyone who knows, I've got Bot Smart racking in here, absolutely wicked. I've had it for a little bit now, and it has changed the way I do things. So that being said, so what I normally do is keep all my accessories and bits and bobs on in this front section. Like I say, I will do a full video on it. So I now, like, on my list here, which is very, very jazzy, I need 11 2-gang sockets. So like I say, it's all organised, so I keep it all stocked in here. So the best thing for me to do now is, rather than over order things, because I do call outs as well, it's always best to have some stuff on the van. So what I'm going to do now is try and, so it allows me to get Jack going, get set up while I order and have all my stuff delivered, what I'm using out of the van and what I need to also order. So it gives us something to do, rather than me driving off all the way over to the wholesaler, which is actually in the next town, to go and get some stuff. It allows us to carry on. I always keep a consumer unit on here as well. As everybody knows, I always use a fuse box anyway now. I always keep one on. Normally it's on the bottom shelf on there, but it was late and I just slid it in to replace this one. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go through my list and we'll figure out what I've actually got in here that I can use. Right, so out of the stock as such that I carry, I've managed to reduce down, so I've ended up with a full bucket of accessories, and I've managed to reduce my list down probably by 80%. So it's now going to allow, so I've got all the sockets bar 2, I think. Because in those trays in there, they generally carry 9 or 10 actually 2-gang sockets standing upright all the way down. So I know if that's full, I've got roughly that amount. So if I get a call out, let's face it, I'm not going to be swapping 10 2-gang sockets out. It's just not practical. But incidents like this, and now I'll order the rest of my stuff, and by the time I'm done, it'll be by the time this is all, me and Jack have rattled through this, we'll probably have had a delivery. So it's just so important. Having the van the way it is now is actually saving us time and money. So it's going to allow Jack to be carrying on. I can get on with this stuff. I've also got a 14-way board, which is perfect. So I thought I had something slightly different, but it's not actually a 14-way. So that will take care of the on-peak tariff as such. I've just got to order a 10-way now for all my off-peak stuff, because it's all electric heating and stuff in here. I've even got some of the RCBOs. I've got 3 RCBOs basically on there. I've got a couple of mini RCBOs as well, but I don't like to mix minis and regular height, standard height or whatever, so I just think there's nothing wrong with it. It looks a mess to me when I take the front off. Like I say, I've got mattresses on there, I've got all my pendants on there. So yeah, it just makes life a lot easier. So Jack will be here any second now. Another little thing that I was put on to getting was this flexible bucket. Okay, now they're not particularly cheap for what they are, but for me, in the van, everything's got a place, everything's got a home, it's all organised, and this thing saves me so much time. And it was actually Luke Sparky who basically put me onto it, and he's a bleeder for it, because he keeps putting different things up, and I'm going, oh yeah, actually that'd be really handy. So Luke, you're a nightmare, you're costing the company a fortune. But yeah, like this, take your bucket out, load it all up, and then once I'm all done, fold it away and stick it back in the van in its little home. It takes up no space whatsoever. So yeah, so that's basically what we're up to. So I'm going to put the order through now. Jack's literally just turned up. We're going to get a cup of tea on while I put the order through. So yeah. Right, if you can hear a bit of a whirring noise, it's because the heater's on. And I'm freezing. So it is what it is. So my plan for in here, so this is where the consumer units going to be, or consumer units are going to be located. So for me, so I brought all the cables down into here. We've also got some into the kitchen, but that's on another phase, not a phase of electrics, but another phase for the build. So in here, we've got to tidy loads of stuff up. So all the old trunking, that's all got to come off. There's all the bits that have like angled down here, and there's some more that's a higher level and all the rest of it. So all that, I'm going to strip all that out. Same as round here, we've got to sort some of this lot out. I'm going to redo all the trunking round, because we've got the heating stuff and we've got for the radial and bits and bobs like that going on. So first things first for me, I'm going to take this shelf down, because my plan is, if it goes to plan, is that up there, I'm going to run a bit of 100 by 50 trunking straight down from the ceiling down to this sort of region here, because all my mains incomer and stuff is here. So what I'm going to do then is is basically make it like a big T at the bottom. So I'm going to run it across and mount my on-peak board here and my off-peak right next to it. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to be doing that. Jack's just literally gone to the shop to go and get some milk so we can have a cup of tea. So if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen the state of the tea that he made yesterday, and it was the powdered milk. We couldn't drink it. Oh my god, no way. So if anybody drinks that stuff, fair play to you. You're definitely a bigger man than me. So yes, so that's what we're doing. So while I'm getting on with faffing about with all this lot, Jack's getting on with all the ways already. Literally started cracking on straight away. He's already blasted that socket on, and then I'm like, whoa you horses, Captain, I need a brew. So Jack's going to carry on ripping around doing all those. This will be a great house for Jack, because I think what I'm going to do, he doesn't know this yet, but But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Jack to do all the testing on here as well, so he can get a bit more experience on testing. Because I think it would just be good for him. I might get him to do one of the boards once I've got it all ready to go. As such. So basically I'm going to bring the cables down, and then I'm going to get Jack to have a go at actually wiring it all in. Because if you've seen in a previous video, I'll put the link above my head somewhere, where he's done his first ever consumer. It did such a good job, and it was a really great video, and I've had loads of great responses from it. So, and he hasn't done another one since then because it was that bad. Because we've just been so busy trying to sort stuff out. But here I've got a little bit more time, so it'll be a good project for Jack to have a go with. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go strip all that out now, and try not to have some weird stuff falling off that shelf. Yo, right, me and Jack are going around doing the second fix, or basically while I'm waiting for this delivery. Okay, so I've said to Jack, normally Jack, you do all like your socket fronts and things like that. Okay, and I said to Jack, do you want to do the pendants? Because Jack, you haven't had that much experience on doing those, have you? No, not. So he says, yeah, no problem, we'll guide you through it, and if you can guide me through it. I was like, yeah, no worries. So what I thought, we'll just film that process. So what's happened, okay? So Jack's, you've cut one of those off, haven't you? Mm. So what we normally do is put a little nick on it, and Jack's accidentally cut the nick off and then lost track of where his switch live is. So what we're going to do now, so what Jack's done is he's linked out the live and CPC on there, and now he's got the tester set to ohms, and he's now going to do the same basically up here to figure out which one it is. So what you got on there, mate? So yeah, okay, so you can set that on a tone, then the little girls and boys at home can hear it. Okay, so it's not that one. So it's that one. Okay, so what you need to do now is I would just use a bit of Sharpie so you don't get lost again on there, and just write SW on that cable. Okay, so you know which one it is. So, like I say, that's how you get round it if you've accidentally cut that off. Okay, so if you jump down then, Jack. So, we're going to ignore the switch at the minute, okay, we'll deal with that in a minute. So on here, Jack, so we've got a normal 6-inch pendant on here. Okay, so he's not broke any of those bits out yet. So what I would do, Jack, is if you undo those terminals a bit to loosen them off, so you probably, yeah, so if you, those ones, yeah, so leave the flex alone, so you don't need to take that off. Some people take it off, I don't want to do that. Do you want to use that one? That's probably enough. Okay, so if you loosen that, the idea is to spend the least amount of time with your hands above your head, because you obviously your blood rushes down, and you end up more fatigued as such. If you're doing 20 or 30 of these, it's a bit of a pain. Now I find breaking these out. Now if you at home know of a different way of doing these, oh, delivery, please hold. Right, sorry, delivery's here now, so that's that. So on here, Jack, so you undone those, and that's where we were just a second ago. So now you need to break those bits out. Okay, so what I use for that is the screwdriver size next one up, and you basically hold it on, but keep that on a flat surface, and then bash the top of it, and it should break those two bits out. Sometimes it busts the whole thing. Okay, so if somebody else knows of a better way of doing that, then obviously leave it in the comments below. That's brilliant. But that's the way I've always done it, and depending if it's freezing cold, you generally end up shattering them. But so if you do that, mate.
So like.
Yeah. So I'd use use the next one up, screwdriver size on there. Yeah, that's fine. It's got a bigger head. But if you aim for those like where the edges bits are. Yeah, try that. Okay, and then bust the other one out. You see how that's sitting up like that. So try that. And I should have broke those out. Okay. So if there's any gnarly, sharp edges and stuff, you can just use your knife and clean all that round. Okay, so then if you mount that up, what I would do, you see how you've got your, so that's your switch live. What I would tend to do, try and get that to come through this one.
Yeah. Because
then that naturally falls into that space. So if you want to mount that up, so if you use some 50s on there, or because it's got to go in through that. So it's important to say at this point that up there, Jack's going to move that temporary supply. But also there's actually a joist right next to it, so he's going to fix directly to that joist. I think. What are you looking for, Jack? Oh, okay. So we're going to use some 50mm screws, so that'll go through your plasterboard and straight onto your joist. And then we'll try and get you a bit of a closer look of what Jack's doing then. So with Jack moving that, okay, so yeah, you might be going, oh, you're screwing into that ceiling. We've got to put some filler in anyway, okay, so it doesn't really matter at this point, because we've got a few different holes from different things. What's the pendant on? I don't know what you've done with that. Oh, Jack. Yeah. So, kind of blinded by the light, so I apologise for that. Okay, so you can see that joist direction, can't you? So you need to try and angle it so you've got both of those screw holes are on the joists, so you've got a good strong fix in. The other one in now before you tighten that up, because what will happen is you'll snap it. I don't know why they're not that strong, to be fair. Okay, so nice and see how so you if you tighten that other one up a bit more, you would have cracked it. Yeah. You see. Okay, so what you now need to do, mate, is you've got two options. You can either cut the cables dead short. Yeah. But if you do that, then what you're going to do if somebody decides that they don't want that pendant now and they want to put something different on there, like a more decorative light. So I always tend to leave it so you've got about 6 inches back up, so that it will push back up into the ceiling void, and then that way you can, someone else can do, fit something else if they want to. Okay, so I always put my switch live away first. Yeah. Okay, so which one have you got to do anything different to that cable? So have you got to do anything to it, or can you just put the blue and brown straight in?
No, I've got a sleeve in this one.
Okay, so what else you got a sleeve on there?
The blue.
Yeah, because that's not actually a neutral now, is it?
Switch light.
Switch light, yeah. Okay, well done. So what I would do as well, even at those lengths that you've got there,
too long.
Is fold it over. Okay, so double them up, because you'll get a better fix in there. Okay. That's it. So I hope you can see enough of this. Okay, so sleeve up. So I would leave your CPCs alone at the minute. I wouldn't even bother because it would just fall off. You put all those. I always put those in last. Okay, so your brown sleeve in now. It's not very organised, is he? Jack. What I would do, right, is a lot of what I would do is I would pull a bit off that and then tie that on like your earth sleeve in, because then because when you do the next lot, you've got plenty on you. Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you sleeve up that, what would have been obviously blue conductor there. Okay, and then you put those straight away, and then you've dealt with your switch wire. You can't get confused with anything then.
This one goes in there, doesn't it?
So yeah, so that's your switch line, isn't it? So that's going to go into your live outgoing supply to the light, isn't it? On there.
Fiddler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because while Jack's doing that, is like I say, when we've done other videos and stuff before, people have said, why have you not put your loop feeds down to the switch? And I completely agree with them. It is the easier way, because you're spending less time with your hands above your head. It's a lot better. But in this instance, you see where we've obviously got the light switch there. It's already plastered. We've not done any chasing for that. And we're trying to cause as minimal damage as possible. So I wouldn't be able to get all my loop feeds down to that point. It's just not going to happen. That's why you have to do this, which is, I would call it, like an old school method, but it makes your arms ache a lot more doing it this way.
So the live goes into loop?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So your
Does it
live,
matter which one it goes into?
no, but I'd put it, me personally, I'd put it in the one closest to that one, because it'd be neater. And then you can, then literally, then you've just got your permanent live, permanent neutral then, that go into your neutral and your loops on there, yeah?
Yeah.
And then put your CPCs away at the end. And then dress all the cables in so they're all flat, nice and neat. Okay. Jack's got his concentration face on. Okay. So you can then shorten them up to the same length as what you had on the other ones, and then you just literally just got to put those in. So your neutrals in, and obviously then your lives into your loop feeds as such. And then double those up again, and that's it basically. So how's your arms aching?
Not that bad.
Not too bad at the minute.
Not yet.
Not yet. So what we'll do, we'll let Jack carry on with that, okay, for a minute, while I'll just go and get myself sorted under here. And then we'll catch up with Jack before he puts the cover on with that, and we'll get his review on how he's found it. Jack's finished that now. How do you think it went, Jack?
Not bad, to be fair.
Enjoy that?
That earth there could be a bit longer, but...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that is the end result for Jack. So are you confident enough now, Jack, to crack on with others and all the rest of it? I think so, yeah. So let's go and tell you what, just bring those steps back over here, mate. We'll have a bit of a closer look. Thank you. Right. So yeah, so you've tried to sweep them across, which is good. There's plenty in there to manoeuvre. So Jack was saying there, this CPC, he wished that was a little bit longer, but it's fine. They're all in, they're all terminated. So nothing wrong with that, mate. So yeah, good job, nice one. So we'll just get the cover put on, and then when you get to the last one on the downstairs, Jack, just leave the cover down for testing then. So yeah, good job, nice one. Yo, right, I've just realised I'm in the editing process and I have realised this video will be mahoosive if I carry it on. The next stage of this video is me fitting the consumer unit and all the trunking and all that lot. So what I've done, I'm going to split it up here. I just thought I'd let you know that is what's happening. So that's why it's jumped at the end, and this is me here. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you have, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And like you say, if you haven't subscribed, links in the bottom corner somewhere, hit that. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.